Hello, Nasdaq followers, and welcome to another edition of Behind the Bell. I'm your host, Leanne Alfaro, and it is 3 p.m. on a Friday. We're getting ready for the closing bell here with Tedy's team. So joining me right now is Tedy Bruschi, who's founder at the organization. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, Leanne.
So you probably need no introduction, but just in case some folks need a refresher, you are now an ESPN NFL analyst, but before then, three-time Super Bowl champ, and also New England Patriots former player.
That's right.
So quite accomplished. Thank you so much for joining us again. And tell us a little bit about Tedy's team.
Well, Tedy's team is a running group that I formed after I had my stroke in 2005. The biggest really problem I had with the whole experience was when I was having a stroke, I didn't know I was having a stroke. So I wanted to form a team of runners that raised funds for awareness and research. And the awareness is the warning signs of stroke. And so when you're having a stroke, you know you're having a stroke and you know what to do. That type of knowledge, that type of awareness is what Tedy's team is all about.
So we have an education component, and there's raising awareness as well as raising money in the running component. So let's start with the team. How many people make Tedy's team at the moment?
This year we had 49 runners. We have a great partnership with the Boston Athletic Association. We are an official charity, and they provided us with 45 numbers this year. So we were able to add 4 more and get 49, and they were able to raise well over $600,000 for us this year, which we will use for awareness programs, research grants, our partnership with the American Heart Association and the American Stroke Association. So our runners not only raise money, I wanted to make this hard, you know, so you feel accomplished after you do something that only 1% of the population does, and that's run a marathon. And it's the toughest marathon there is. I call it the Super Bowl of road races, the Boston Marathon. So I want them to feel that sense of accomplishment, of the awareness that they've raised, who they're running for, and then doing something difficult for themselves. So crossing that finish line on Boylston Street, all of my runners feel very accomplished.
When runners come to your nonprofit and participate or donate or become inclined to get involved, what sets you apart from other nonprofits that perhaps have similar goals?
I would say what sets us apart is not only do we raise funds for awareness and research, we're like a support group also. All of my runners are either stroke survivors, heart survivors, or have stroke or heart heroes that they run for. And a lot of times when you go through medical adversity in your lives, you don't know who to talk to because you don't know if you can relate to that person. But when we all get together, we can talk about our experiences through stroke and heart disease and how we've survived. You know, so that's something that's a big piece of our team. And also that physical aspect of it is that you're not just raising money, you are training throughout the New England winter to run the Boston Marathon. It's something very difficult, and completing that journey is something that's very difficult to do, and it's something that I wanted it to be difficult to do because when you finish, you feel accomplished.
It's an entire process.
It is.
And outside of fundraising, it certainly sounds like this process of getting to the marathon is so important. What are other aspects beyond fundraising that are very crucial to Tedy's team?
Well, the other aspects, of course, is the awareness that we raise. I ask them to, raise the awareness of the warning signs. And I think one of the things that I'm very excited about for my team is another aspect which we've started is called the Comeback Assistance Program. And that's something to where we aid people in their comebacks. I had to come back to the National Football League after suffering a stroke, and I ended up playing 4 years. And I know there are a lot of other people out there that need just a little bit of help in terms of achieving their comeback. I know they're not going to play football in the National Football League, but everyone has their level of comeback which they want to achieve. Our Comeback Assistance Program finds those people and we aid them in their journey.
Absolutely. What's one of your favorite success stories from all of these people that have joined and have aimed to have this comeback?
Well, my favorite success story, there's so many, but I'll just talk to you about the most recent one is when I was running with 3 of my teammates in the Boston Marathon. And we have our Tedy's team singlets on and we're running the race and we're all exhausted. It's about mile 20, but there was a woman that came to us and thanked us. They thanked us for all of our awareness programs and how we promote the warning signs of stroke, because she told us she learned them through our campaigns, and she recognized those signs in her mother. And she got her to the hospital as quickly as she could. So she thanked us for that. And that's success for Tedy's team in my book, because the more that I talk about the stroke warning signs, the more people learn them and the more they know what to do.
And last but certainly not least, could you tell us, for anyone watching out there that wants to get involved, either perhaps to run for people in their lives or otherwise to help out with fundraising, how can they join?
Well, you can visit us at teddystteam.org, of course, on the internet, but we have many. It doesn't have to be a marathon, okay? Because we know that 26.2 can be daunting. You know, it's a tough race. But we also run the Falmouth Road Race, which is around a 7-mile run. We do various things where you can participate. You can make a donation. Help us raise awareness. You know, that's something that we are big on also. But there are many levels that you can join Tedy's team if you checked out teddystteam.org.
Fantastic. So we will drop a link below to teddystteam.org. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
and
Leanne.
We look forward to seeing you at the closing bell in just a few
right.
minutes. Nasdaq followers, please stay tuned for the closing bell happening right here on the Nasdaq channel at 3:50 p.m. Eastern.